The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Hello everyone, GameGoddessFee here. Alright, we are back with more Ace Attorney. I apologize for the first stream, you guys. I didn't know my battery wasn't plugged in. Started the stream and the thing went out. Oh my goodness. So, yeah. Happy Friday. But anyway, yeah, so we are back with more.
Ace Attorney!
Right, we're back with more. The last part 2 of this trial. So I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. And yeah, make sure to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it.
Yep. It's the last case or whatever chapter of this game. It shouldn't have been here, but it is, and we played it, so...
Hey, Game Queen 81, how you doing tonight? Are you ready to see what's gonna happen? Yeah, so sorry for the technical difficulties at first, you guys, but I didn't know my laptop was unplugged, and when I started the stream, the whole thing just went out. I'm glad it did it then. Before, you know, we in the middle of the stream and it goes out, it goes out. So I'm glad it did it right at the beginning. So yeah. Anyway, all right, I guess we could get started.
Yep.
It's at the power is going up. It's at 18%. At first it was like at 4%, so it's still charging. But anyway, it shouldn't cause any problems. Glad I'm on time. I did not get the first stream. You didn't? Yeah, it was only 49 seconds. So I deleted it before I started this stream. So yeah, I didn't want people to get confused by it.
Stop stalling.
Really, dude. Really. Look, he ready to get it done with y'all. All right, let's go. If you want, if you ready.
I'm ready.
Is the prosecution ready?
Why would the prosecution be ready? The prosecution doesn't care. He just wants to get this man convicted.
Look, they being the defense. Huh?
We're the defense now.
It's the defense.
It's me.
It's the defense ready.
This is Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth.
All right, guys. We got episode 5, Rise from the Ashes, Final Day, Trial Letter 2. All right, we're gonna load the file.
Wait till y'all see episode 6.
February 25th, 2:21 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Londa Sky, please take the stand?
Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant.
Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant.
Think she'll follow along?
He said, if you say anything, you can destroy.
Witness testimony, Gant and the fabrication. Do. Stop. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dork convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. She feeling already. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana, if this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
But what if she's telling the truth?
She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
Yeah, this is no time to start second guessing myself.
The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Ooh.
Cross-examination, Gant, and the fabrication. I worked alongside Gant for years.
How many years exactly?
Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases.
She must have been good, coming from the same school as Mia.
Dominic Gant was a respectable detective, that's why. There's no truth to this blackmail theory.
But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail.
You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? And any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself.
Did you do it to help your sister?
Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life.
But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything.
That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Nana. So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene.
You say you did this all by yourself?
Yes.
Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene?
It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. She already...
What? What did you just say? That doesn't even make sense. You stupid. You stupid. I mean, I have a contradiction. Objection. But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement.
You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark?
Something like that.
If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife.
Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her fibs with more fibs.
All just to protect me. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body.
You planted the tips of Dark's knife in the victim's wound?
And you did move the body?
But why? Why would you do that?
You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You always had a good head on your shoulders.
My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others.
What do I need to do? Why did you plant the knife, or why did you move the body? I want to know why she moved the body.
Why did you do anything? You could have just went home.
Any of it, exactly. Why did you move the body? Why? That's what I want to know.
I could be at home right now. I could be eating some noodles or something. That's what he eats.
So you think this is the right question, but if it's not, we'll come back to it.
Yeah. When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gunt's desk.
But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there?
The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Guy moved the body. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan.
Pieces of the jar? You mean...
Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body.
So, when you first found the body, the jar was already...
Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Well, she just said, anyway, Neil Marshall was dead and Dork was lying unconscious. In other words, the jaw must have been broken during their struggle. I see.
What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently, the jaw shattered at the time of the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there is more to it than that.
There must be a contradiction here somewhere.
Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. My only motivation was to get Dork convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Did I already do this?
So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer?
How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it, period.
Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You willing to risk the death sentence?
She's fibbing. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable.
Unpardonable.
There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's fibbing.
Yeah, I know, man. Like, you already said that. You already said that, Emma. It's like we're repeating our sentences.
Okay, let's go through the...
I think I see it.
I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Let's see.
What did Emma point out to you?
And I forgot.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What did she say? What did she say?
Mr. Wright, the jar stinky. There's a statement that mentioned the jar.
I broke off the tip of the Dork's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. So you saying the pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plans?
Where's the contradiction?
Well, he had the stuff in the jar in his locker, the piece rather.
Yeah, but what's the contradiction?
It wasn't shattered.
If it shattered immediately.
If it shattered immediately?
Mm-hmm.
What you mean?
If it shattered immediately, what's the contradiction?
Then it was broken on the shelf.
No.
What you mean?
It's something else. She claims that it was broken immediately.
Let me see.
Mama, you don't see it?
Nope.
You want me to tell you? You want me to tell you?
No. She said the pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plans. Let me...
Pieces of the jar? I'm not gonna read it. You can just keep going.
Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dork committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Dork was lying unconscious. In other words, the jaw must have been broken during their struggle. Well, Lana saw it, Emma saw it afterwards.
What's on the jar?
Blood. Ah, okay. Did the jaw break when Emma pushed the man? Yeah, Plum just pointed out that he was able to write her name on the jar. He surely did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna present her with the jar.
Mm. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister.
You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered?
If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. To whatever.
A contradiction in my testimony?
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right. Do you have a problem with that?
It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on the jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies.
Hmm?
In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died.
Ah.
He couldn't have written Emma's name on the shattered jar.
What's up, Didas? How you doing, Didas?
Well,
Order.
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we are headed.
What?
Just tell us exactly what you saw.
I am good, Didas. Thank you so much.
We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
This is in my stomach, Lord. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. Witness testimony. Jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I am sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. You did that, and how much time? You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Uh-oh. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Cross-examination, jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar.
So the jar was already broken?
It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case.
But not as feeble as the judge's judgment. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces?
Normally I would have. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out.
So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar?
I know that's right, Gang Clean 81. No, if I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to the dust.
Well, that helps my case.
Nana, you'll do that for me.
It seems you two might make up yet.
Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was.
If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry.
I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. To be safe, I wiped away the blood.
I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened.
What do you mean?
If you really thought Dirk killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood.
What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. That was Lana. I only had a few moments. Anyway, there wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all.
But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office.
A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. All I can think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
So you illegally rearranged the crime scene?
Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time.
It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident.
No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony.
Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony.
Oh man, Phoenix.
There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. Phoenix, no, but I don't.
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. Let's get it, Shermanator. What's up, y'all? What's up, Yeety? How you doing tonight?
Okay. Go through her statements.
I'm going through. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. Nope, Gant had a piece.
Oh yeah, Gant had a piece in his locker. Gotta catch him on, gotta catch him on. Gotta catch him on.
Well, how can we prove that?
When in doubt, jar. Are you looking at Marshall's fingerprints? He in jail.
I don't know.
I'm in jail, partner.
Like, what Marshall they talking about?
I'm in jail, partner.
So
I can't do nothing. I can't affect this case no more, partner.
Really? You're so silly.
I think it's the jar.
You think it's the jar again?
Yeah.
On this statement here?
I'm pretty sure.
Let me see.
Yo! Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of.
What?
We found the final piece of the jar in Chief Gant's safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about the final piece. There was still blood on it.
But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them.
Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene.
Uh-oh.
Chief Gant got there before you.
They done took me to left field, y'all. I'm all the way in left field.
You're in left field.
I'm in the left field.
You want me to tell you?
But couldn't the defense have simply missed a piece?
I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective.
That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Huh? Can you believe that?
Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jaw was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jaw. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
Dun dun dun. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant at the time he was looking. I know, Dietis. I'm like, who want to hear that story? I hope you're not implying that. Hold on, Phoenix.
The defense is waiting, Your Honor.
For Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? Go ahead.
Alright, the question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide the fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that?
No.
Please get on the judge.
Wait, I'm not the one on trial here.
Herman Gantz arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called?
Forgery.
Fabrication of evidence.
He said he purposely broke it?
Yeah.
And then hid one of the pieces?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because he had Emma's name on it. But why would Chief Gant do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
Ah, okay, I got it figured out. What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet. Ooh, that looked like it hurt.
She bit off her nail. I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul fibs to defend their clients.
Foul fibs? Imagine that coming from my own client.
I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. Ooh, let's listen to
What
this.
kind of judge?
Now, how is Phoenix twisting the truth, or any attorney anyway?
Ashford's committed forgery. Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap?
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
Lana may be right after all. What do you mean, right?
So do you file Phillips then, Mr. Wright?
Miss Sky, please testify once more.
But
If evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a fib.
uh-oh. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Miss Sky, if you will.
I can't.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there's a possibility that it will, if you tell us the truth.
Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. All right, then the witness may testify once more for the final time.
For the final time.
Witness testimony. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on the pseudo armor's sword. Emma and Dork were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
Ooh.
Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor's
Impaled?
sword.
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof.
Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What? To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
But I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you. Well, Mr. Wright, please present this picture.
I don't remember receiving the pictures from Lana.
You got that book from her. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then. Is you getting a call?
Yes, I am. Tell that's Zay. What do Zay want call? Somebody check on Zay.
Tell Zay to get on the stream.
Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere.
Man, this is a good fun mechanic on the Nintendo DS. What do you mean this is a Switch?
Evidence law.
Look at that bird. I like that bird. Whoa! Hey, there's a picture here.
Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this, because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Lana's picture inserted into the court record. Lana's picture, crime scene photo from the case 2 years ago taken. Mr. Wright, that piece cut out from his vest. Could that be?
The cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. What's this?
This is a handprint incident. That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer.
What? But those fingerprints...
She don't know they were hers.
They're yours, Emma.
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, let's go on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Cross-examination. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on the... What happened? There's him again.
Whoa, hold on. Come now, Yuji.
We're supposed to be eating. Why are you not eating, girl? The early bird special? Why are you not eating, Gats?
Well, I got it. It was good, but
Really?
I needed to come back right quick. Yeah.
How you eat that fast?
I took it to go.
Right,
This is the
Titus.
poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen.
Chief Gats.
What? Now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Oh, so what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence?
No, I don't. But someone does.
Someone?
So, what's your excuse, Rido? Huh? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death.
Oh, Lord, he talking about that cloth.
Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt.
Is this true, Mr. Wright?
If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma should be made out as the murderer.
Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. If you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence to the marshal? If you want to save her, we can get a bad ending.
You can.
Yes, there's a bad ending.
Oh my goodness.
If you mess this up.
Really?
Yes. You want to see the bad ending?
Nope.
Okay.
But let's let the chat see. Y'all want to see the bad ending? Oh goodness.
Which one you think is the bad ending?
If we oh Lord, that go YouTube.
YouTube don't want to see the bad ending.
If we show the evidence, that's probably gonna be the bad ending.
Yup.
Titus said maybe.
Now let's just keep going.
Cannot show evidence. I'm not gonna show him.
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You fib!
Chief Gut.
You opened my safe! I know you took what was inside! The conclusive evidence! I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together.
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason.
You mean you have this in your safe?
What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department.
Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened.
What? You mean you admit to it?
I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her.
I knew Lana. I made it look like the blame lay with her sister. That's when she saw the scene. She would ask for me for my aid. She would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dog convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you.
He don't even supposed to be testifying. How he?
I did it. I did all this. I did this. I was the one who did it, but I didn't kill him.
How did they let him testify again? He forfeited it anyway.
I now take it back. I take it back. Anyway. 2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe?
But why?
For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed.
You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence?
What do you take me for? A stupid person? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too?
Right.
Oh. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Righto, cough it up already. I know you have it.
Look on YouTube. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it then, Chief Cat? That you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Stupid move, Righto. You should have showed it then before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Moment of truth. Moment of truth.
show evidence.
Moment of truth.
What y'all think? Oh my goodness.
Hey, it's the moment of truth. It's the moment of truth.
Why you keep saying that?
It's the truth. It's the truth. You say it like 50 times. Right? Seems confident.
I guess. He surely does. I guess we could show him.
Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
All right then. Let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Let me see.
You only got one thing.
One thing. Found in Chief Gangster evidence for something.
You already know.
What you mean?
You already know.
That cloth?
What we didn't present earlier.
The cloth.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, I should say something else.
Nope. It's the moment of truth.
We're gonna present the blue badger, y'all.
Yo, the blue badger. Yo. The blue badger did it. He was the true culprit. Gant, you're free to go. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh, yes. Alas, you finally brought it out to the open.
That's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that this immediately be sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean?
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Oh. I'm Santa Claus. You're as slowest on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Rido had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that?
Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they?
Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted.
The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is...
Mr. Meekin. Mr. Meekin.
They did find her fingerprints, right?
Yeah.
Emma Sky? What? They're mine?
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Oh. You're really something, Rido. You knew this girl did it all along.
I thought that was her talking.
And you still tried to pin the murder on me.
So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to this death. How could you? You monster. Miss Guy, knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Miss Sky, it's not over yet.
What?
I said this trial isn't over yet. Huh, well, I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence.
But he done had it all these years.
That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted.
Phoenix just letting them talk.
Yep, come on, bring it. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall?
What?
Chief Gantz, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask?
It was Emma Sky, wasn't it?
I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What's this idiot babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict?
Chief Gantz, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Do you know? Do you even have an idea?
Let me see. Let me check this. Probably that. Let me see.
Wait 1 second. Nope, I don't see anything. wait, go back. There's some blood.
Coming out his mouth.
It's messed up.
Stop, let me see.
There ain't no blood on the cloth.
What you mean?
Like, he was throwing up. He was like, whoa, I'll write him a name. But there ain't no blood on the cloth.
On what cloth?
The cloth we just presented. Like, look at the picture. Like, alright, check the cloth. Ain't no blood on that.
It's just a handprint. This is a handprint, right?
Yeah. Someone's left behind a stain on the fabric, and it was you. We already noticed. Why are you asking this?
Whoever it was, they must have had really oily hands.
Yeah, whoever.
Mr. Wright, think about it scientifically. A more scientific estimate. The person slipped and fell on a freshly waxed floor. Let me see. It's not blood, is it?
Yeah, there ain't no blood on it. But on the photo, there's like a billion pieces, like a billion things of blood on his shirt and junk.
So you think it's the cloth?
I think it's the picture.
You think it's a picture?
I think it's the attorney's badge.
See, this boy plays too much.
Attorneys.
Crime scene photo. Okay, to behold, a piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Let me see.
And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where a piece of his vest was cut out?
Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though.
Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth.
Oh, but that piece of cloth. Wait, there's no blood on it.
Ah! Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gantz, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside.
Hold on, I need a moment to think about this. Okay, so he's saying that okay, she pushed him, but he cut the cloth off while he was on the thing. While he was on the armor.
I don't know.
I see. I'm in left field, y'all.
Phoenix explain.
I'm back in left field. Let me let Phoenix go ahead.
He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armored sword.
Gosh. Okay. It wasn't no blood on it, but it's on everything else. All his other clothes. So yeah, he picked him up. He cut the cloth off and put him on the armor.
Then to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceed to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest?
You regain Queen.
Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer.
Uh-oh.
No! It's finally all over.
Objection.
Objection. Oh, that was close, Righto. You almost had me.
He's still sweating.
Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations.
What do you mean, you refute his allegations?
You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence.
Order. What nonsense is this?
Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict the suspect.
I'm not Serenader.
Really? Remember Yuji? Earlier, old Righto here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? You do have some conclusive evidence, do you?
Take him down.
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
Thank you, Herlock Sholmes.
We got Herlock!
How you doing tonight? Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present the evidence.
At that moment, that piece of evidence ceased to be legal evidence.
But that's not fair.
Ho ho ho! Do you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son.
I'm afraid Mr. Gunn's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person.
Oops.
Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
Well, Mr. Wright?
It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived.
Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth?
Yep, I did. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Like, it was just a funny joke. Edgeworth was in on it too. And, we're sorry for all this. Gant, you can leave now.
Stop. Stop. Let me think. I mean, he could have just for...
It was just a prank, bro. It was just a prank.
He could have just to...
You think Phoenix right? This goody good two shoes would illegally conceal anything.
Nah, he wouldn't.
I admit, I refused to present it at one point. Aha! So the evidence is illegal! No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't.
What do you mean? You couldn't? Oh, I got you, Phoenix. I got you.
There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Yuji! Don't listen to his fibs! He's nothing but a coward! You can't really believe? There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. Okay, so he couldn't present it because they had to prove. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. So yeah, he had to make sure it was relevant to the case, right?
Yep.
If you could prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. I guess I present him that book.
Yeah, I guess. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall, when was that picture presented?
That was shown only a few moments ago.
No! He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gett. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh yes!
He hanged himself.
No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth.
Uh-oh.
The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gett! The killer was you!
Uh-oh.
No, no! I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum!
Uh-oh. The confession.
For 2 years, he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Andrew Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. Can you give his voice? What are you talking about, Goodman?
Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer this evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered.
He opened his evidence locker and he was taking the evidence out. He said,
It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall.
well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car? I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will.
Yes, he is, Titus.
Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how? How could you get Miss Sky involved in all this? Well, she has much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker? I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jaw fragments in the glove. Yeah. Looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me were the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Yuji?
What?
Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend.
Lock him up. I'm sorry too, dumb and gat. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person.
Those days are gone now, Yuji. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
He already got on his orange suit, Can't Queen 81.
Now you have Rido here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning. There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes?
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years, from the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered.
I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble.
My, what high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Lock her up too.
Oh, she smiled. She smiled.
I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Yeah, she needs to be locked up too.
Yup, lock her up. Miss Sky.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few years. Days. Did she say days? Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you.
It was nothing. Bibber.
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth.
Stop it! I only did my job.
In light of this case, it seems that good self-examining is in order for all of us. Lock the judge up too.
Yes, lock everybody up.
He wasn't even following the case all the way.
What's this going on here?
Miss Guy. Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky,
not guilty.
Don't represent her, Phoenix.
Don't represent.
She'll be consuming evidence too. That is all. This court is adjourned. All right. I wonder how him and Bud Karma got along. They would have been best of friends, wouldn't it?
Yep. All right. Here's the forged evidence.
Here's
the knife with his fingerprints.
She's finally free, y'all.
Yep.
February 25th, 5:03 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't completely get off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Good job, Serenader.
Whatever.
You done well. It was a good job. I think you did a good job. No, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty?
Yes, great voice acting, Pluminator.
And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
That's what you said yesterday, this morning.
Hey, lighten up, pal. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone.
Don't tell me he's I can say.
The blue badger, here you go. I brought him just for you.
Lana!
Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Emma, I owe you my apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that stuff. Sis, I asked God to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such an idiot. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma.
Aww.
Aww.
No one can change the past.
Just you.
The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes.
Yes, family reunion.
Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find a way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. There we go, Phoenix. Yeah. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. The two sisters.
Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe,
Me?
thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here.
Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right, well, I'll be going now.
He was behind that tree back there, y'all.
Like, oh my god, I hope they don't see me. No.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you.
It's too late for me. Huh? No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes.
Go Edgeworth.
You gotta have his little junk cream moment.
I know, Mr. Edgeworth.
Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. You despise criminals, I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor.
Uh-oh. Edgeworth, don't you understand? You're gonna laugh like him.
You gonna laugh like him?
You turn into that monster. David Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, You were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about.
Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own.
Oh my goodness.
It's your final tip. I know what it is.
Let me see. What are they talking about?
Right,
This right here?
right? Yeah,
That's it.
I think, yeah.
Let me see.
Right, do you know? I don't know, Edgeworth. Right, please, you have to get this right. I don't know.
That's the picture I drew.
Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Of course, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture.
That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's time for me to go.
Mr. Edgeworth.
If you excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
Yeah, Edgeworth is a drummer king.
Edgeworth! What will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor. You can't... Wait, what? Oh, wait, okay. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. I like how he just dips.
I'd better be on going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation? It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will.
And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith.
Where's she going? She going to foster home or somewhere? Look.
Where is she going?
They got family.
Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey on my own.
What you about to do, Phoenix?
A journey to rediscover myself.
Why?
Well, don't go tricking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
But
I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh?
way to go, detective. I didn't know you had it wild side.
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here is the one who'll be footing the bill. Huh? Huh? What, you think I can afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream?
Look, Phoenix don't even have a car, so why y'all got him paying for everything?
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you all go pay it off together?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go.
Objection!
Okay, that's it.
That's it?
Yep.
All right. So that was interesting. Let me see. I arranged for his friend in Europe. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I managed to find my way back to the field tomorrow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. The end for now. Yes, Titus. All right. So
I actually kind of like the case. Like, I was journaling on it when we first started, but like going back to it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes! I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you any more, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily.
Yeah, he didn't even want me to play the last case.
It was okay.
It was
Because I
okay,
wasn't
huh?
getting frustrated with all the boring, stupid mechanics. The story is pretty good, and I love the culprit.
Mm-hmm. See? You have to play it again.
But that's it, okay?
Sometimes you have to give it another chance. Look at your boy.
My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them now. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like Detective Gumshoe.
Meekins.
Meekins.
They had painted on him. They knew that man ain't did that.
Yep, it was Mr. Meekins.
We saw you do it. We saw you do it. What?
Look at it. Look at it. Look into its eyes. Its soul is the demon.
Kill it. Send it to the underworld.
Like you got a BBL too. What you think? Them little legs.
Yes, it's dead. We killed it.
Anyway, what happened to the blue badger? Did
He
he
just
fall
flopped
down?
over. He flopped over.
Detective Gumshoe, he gonna have to fix it.
Nope. Please don't.
What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a state lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this into me. She's seen one of them guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get that water? Yeehaw!
Look, what if he meet Gant in prison, y'all? Is he going to jail or what?
Oh, no.
Look. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. The top layer tastes as better as defeat, but the bottom, kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller. Just make sure you're not eat it backwards. She went too fast for me, y'all.
She went too fast.
Mm-hmm.
She was spinning.
She was spitting, y'all. I had went back and tried to read the thing anyway. Here he is. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something for how many years? Well, anyway, I got another trial to get to, so I'd better be... Huh? Oh, no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go. This dude. This dude.
That's the judge.
Don't forget your teeth either. They in your mouth. They are in your mouth. So what y'all think about this trial, y'all?
It was cool.
It was cool.
Mm-hmm. It was tedious on the first playthrough. Who is Maya?
Maya. Nothing soothes the soul like fresh air. Fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objections. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training about to begin. Coming. Well, see you around, Nick. Why they bring her? She wasn't even in this track.
Nah, she was there. She was in the background the whole
Really?
time.
How
You didn't see her?
No, I didn't see her there. I didn't see her at all. She's still under the waterfalls. All right, who else? Mia?
Edgy. Wait.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, it's him. Mr. Edgeworth, I put you your tea. I forgot his voice. What's going on? I forgot his voice. I was like, who's this dude?
Anyway. he brought Mr. Edgeworth his tea, huh? Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be all right. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book.
Hope she didn't put that one picture in there.
Scientific investigation.
Fun mechanics on the Nintendo DS. Whoa. Ooh.
I guess that's when it almost happened, or when she was younger.
When she first got into the agency, I think.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. A lot of twists and turns, y'all. Cause look, half the time they had me in left field, like what's really going on. All right, so that was the end of that game. Ace Attorney Trilogy. So what's the next game?
Justice for All.
Justice for All.
It's you gotta go to a new game. Let me show you. Boom. And then go to the left. I mean right. Boom, there you go.
Ah, okay.
Then you go to the right again. Ooh.
Trials and Tribulations.
And that's it. The third game, the best one.
All right, it is a good game, Didas. Luke Pluminator, he introduced me to it, so I hadn't known, I hadn't even heard about this game.
He is uncultured.
Attorney, I haven't had whatever. Shut up. Anyway. All right, so yeah, I appreciate you all for watching, and go ahead.
The prosecution is ready.
It's me.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I'm just playing now. I was just letting it pass. But anyway, appreciate you all for watching. All right, and yeah, if you're watching and you're liking what you see, I've got to say you don't like what you see.
If you don't like what you see, please subscribe.
If you like it or if you don't like it, please subscribe. Look. Also, if you don't mind giving this video a like. All right, we had Didas in the chat. We had Game Queen 81, Herlock Shongs, Yeety in the chat. All right, and everybody else that's watching, y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening and a wonderful weekend too. It's Friday night. Got the whole weekend, 2 days. So yeah, to relax. So I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care, you guys. Good night.